Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
Yep, 32 minutes. And that means that we give you a main story of what is going on inside of the world. Now, I have a weird question for you, because that is normally how I like to do most of these things. But what happens inside of your workplace when you, listen to me, when you feel burned out? Now, I want you to think about that, because it's one of those ones where you have to give some consideration to what I'm saying. What do you do when you feel burned out? Because at the end of the day, you are driving something inside of your workplace that in the long run, you are trying to help the people around you. You are trying to help the organization. Matter of fact, you're just trying to help. And some people, not all, don't like what you're doing. It is a reality of what happens here. And the reason that they don't like what you're doing is because it can circumvent some of the stuff that they're trying to accomplish. Now, listen, I'm not saying that you're putting a stop to everything that's going on, but sometimes some of the things that has to be done in a workplace are not the easiest things to do if you have to do everything in a safe and proper manner. Let's just be realistic. That's when we can get into that whole side story that your best worker is the one that also understands how to work the system, might not do the things the safest way, but does it the best way to work within the system. We can go through that speech if you'd like. But that's what we're talking about. So as you're going through this stuff, and you're pushing forward on trying to help the organization, help the people that are there, how do you deal with the burnout? Because sometimes you get it from both sides. And listen, I have worked at places that have been great in regards of listening to ideas about safety inside of the organization. But at the end of the day, they go, hey, we still need to make our money, which I get, I understand. And they might change some things up. Like, I remember working at a place real quick. Well, not real quick, but I worked at this place. And I had a direct boss who was the person in charge of all of safety. And I was in charge of a region. And I remember my vice president of operations did not like some of the ideas that the direct person that was in charge of safety for the whole company wanted. And the safety guy, we'll call him the safety corporate director, told me what I needed to do, and I did it. And the regional vice president was pissed off, or the vice president was pissed off about some of the ideas that needed to be done. But he was in charge of operations. And so that caused a level of frustration and a level of fatigue, but also at the same time, it wasn't like the regional vice president didn't care about what was going on, because it was his idea to actually incorporate different people in safety throughout the region. So it gets very weird and convoluted sometimes. It's not like you're serving two people, but you're doing stuff that people have different focuses on. So I look at it almost as an uphill battle, but as an uphill battle worth fighting for. So, going back to the original question, how do you handle when you suffer from burnout? How do you manage that? Because I will tell you, some people will say, well, I talk to like-minded individuals, I will communicate with others and, bounce off ideas and so on. But what do you do to handle your stress? What do you do to manage your burnout? I will tell you that during that time frame of my life, mixed martial arts really helped. Because that's how I'd burn out some of that crap with those classes. I mean, in regards of, what was going on. But I look at it from the standpoint as follows. When you do this stuff, and when you look at this stuff, and you care about what's going on inside of the organization, you need time. You need time to focus on your mental health. You need time to figure out how you're going to handle a burnout. And unfortunately, as you are aware, sometimes some of the issues that occur at work, the people that pay for it are the people that you live with at home. Yeah, I know. Kind of a weird one today.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with the viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You're listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.